Hey everyone, good morning and welcome back to the Hearthstone letter. My name is Rooster and we're playing Cthulhu Warrior again. By popular demand, I might say. Well, popular not meaning much, but hey, if you have a request for what I should play, I'll probably heed it for now, unless I'm being swarmed with all kinds of requests. Or it doesn't really fit with the schedule, or I've already played it this month, then I'm afraid you're out of luck. But or if I don't have the cards, because you can you can request a Burst Priest or something, but I don't have a Velen, and I'm not going to craft it anytime soon. So yeah, that might be a little bit of a caveat. But for now, yeah. I'll play whatever I wish and whatever you wish too. So, Cthulhu Warrior. Did I say greetings yet? I keep forgetting.
Greetings.
But we seem to be up against some sort of Reno lock, because I don't expect any self-respecting Zoolock to keep a mulligan without a 1-drop. Of course, he could just be really slow, and that might be a thing. But let's assume a Reno lock for now. Does that change anything? Well, against this thing here, this is actually not a bad minion, so I like that a lot. That was a really quick end turn, really smooth. Wow. Sometimes I amaze myself, but yeah. Yeah, what was I trying to say? I'm not really saying a whole lot. I'm a bit thrown off here. Lost one video today due to oversized stuff. Well, oversized stuff meaning running out of disk space and not cleaning up my video backlog enough. So that's a bit of a pity. Please don't hit that. Thank you. Thank you. That's really nice of you. That is really, really nice of you, because that lets me clear up the Knife Juggler. So that's pretty sweet. And also clear up... Oh. Everything's acting up today. I don't know what's wrong here. But I'll definitely leave this one around for now. It's not going to... well, it's actually going to matter a bit, right? I would be a little sad if something happened to my minions here. I guess if this trades and that trades, it's not as good as it seems. But this, I would rather that trade into my minions here. Yeah, I'll trade, sure. I don't like it. I don't like it as much as I thought it would. But he's likely to trade into the 4-2 at the very least, so I'm still happy with that. I could have just left it, and maybe that would have been the better call. I don't know. Yet this is still something that's happening. I would be willing to execute. Oh, that's actually wait. I can't count, but that is good enough. I don't mind. Do I want to play anything else? I'm not thinking straight either. I'm trying to do too much at once, I'm afraid. So that is still fine. I will trade that into the Councilman, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's not the worst. So about Cthulhu Warrior instead of talking about me. I've tried the deck before. I think it was a slightly different deck list. Main difference being there was an Elise in there, and there was an additional Cthulhu's Chosen, and was there any other? No, I think that's it, basically. So I've made the deck a little more anti-aggro by adding a Beckoner of Evil and a Doomsayer instead of the aforementioned cards. So a little bit of a counter to the more aggressive decks out there, like most Shaman decks, most... what else am I saying? Most Shaman decks, most Zoolock decks, for example, should be a decent matchup, I believe. Oh wow, that's very aggressive, sir. That is very aggressive indeed. How is our Cthulhu doing, by the way? I don't know. I have played 2 of those, so this one should be active next turn. Not that that matters a whole lot. I would be inclined to do this here, I believe. Yeah. I would like that, mostly because it lets me do this. And I guess, well, we can take a freebie here. I wouldn't hate a freebie. Is that the main thing I want to execute here? Actually, it's not the main thing I would want to execute. I think I'm fine with doing this. I shouldn't forget that Brawl is also a possibility, but I'll save that for later, when something more imposing is actually on the battlefield here. There's the second councilman, and I think some minions are coming out here. Or perhaps not. Perhaps not. He must have a couple of aggressive minions in his hand. Let's see. Do we care about any of this? Well, we'll take a hit from the councilman, but that's probably okay. Actually, we won't take a hit from the councilman, but if he manages to play 5 minions, which is basically only if he has another ritual. The chances of him having another ritual is not actually that good. So I think this is fine. It's basically only bad if he has a ritual. And I guess a power overwhelming, but at least that power overwhelming is not going to our face, right? So that's still fine. Not exactly what we would want here, but it's not killing something more important, so that's still okay with me. Sure. And the more he commits to the board, the better that is for me. Although he's likely to make a few awkward trades here. That's not as awkward as it may seem. And if that's a power overwhelming, that's actually pretty decent for him. That is not a power overwhelming though, so I would say that's a pretty good deal for us here. In that case, we are definitely trading here. Are we drawing a card? We'll draw a card, sure. We can always just play this and... oh, that's good. That is actually a pretty good draw. I will say that much. And I think we have enough armor for now that we would prefer something on the board. I'm going to make this Cthulhu in a few turns, also pretty good, so yeah, I like that. And he doesn't appear to have a power overwhelming, so that's also really good for us. Don't mind that. So as I was saying, yeah, you can tune the deck a little bit to be more effective against aggro. Some of the Cthulhu minions are not always guaranteed a spot in here. I've tried to put in some what's it called again? Some Twilight Elders, which are not awful minions in the current metagame. Oh, I'll brawl this. Don't get me wrong, I will brawl this. And I can even armor up and shield slam if not. Oh, I should have attacked first. Whoops. Oh well. That is still acceptable. And I'll play an Acolyte, just because. That is actually an awkward minion to have on the field when facing, well, when having a Cthulhu in your hand, basically. I'll say that's pretty good for him. That is actually pretty good for him. I might even just play a... yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good for him. But I still have my second ghoul in the deck, so... but I would prefer just to slam that, I think. Well, to shield slam that, of course. I could execute it, actually. It's not an awful idea to execute it, but I might want to save that for something more important. And we can still Justicar. Let's actually just normal slam this thing and see what we get. Also not an awful card, but these are a lot of 1/1 minions, so I guess I want to use the shield slam first. That means a 1/1 is lost, which is not too terrible. Don't want to execute that. I'll Cthulhu next turn if all else fails, so that means I can probably just Justicar here. Or I could Doomsayer, but I would rather do that on an empty board, and Cthulhu does a pretty good job at making sure I face an empty board, I think. The more minions there are on the table, the more likely it is that Cthulhu actually clears board, so that's pretty good. Well, of course, assuming Cthulhu is sufficiently large to guarantee that. Ooh, that's a good card, though. I'll say that's an actual good card. I do have a second Brawl, and I don't think Cthulhu is that embarrassing here, but I might take some damage from the Doomguard again, which is a little unfortunate. I don't think we have a real choice, though, so let's just see how Cthulhu sweeps the board here. Not counting on it clearing the Doomguard, but at least it will leave it damaged. Ooh, 7 damage still. Well, he's not likely to kill us here, but he might tap and see if he gets lethal. If he gets a double Soulfire or something, well, not a double Soulfire. Double Soulfires are really awkward. Well, Corruption's dead, so I guess he's going face then. Well, he doesn't really have another option, so we might be unable. Oh, we will be able to kill him.
Well played.
Are you my master?
Because I keep forgetting this interaction, but these minions also buff Cthulhu that's already on the board. So that's nice. So a couple of free spots basically in the Cthulhu Warrior deck. But most of them will be claimed by some of the Cthulhu minions. There's a bit of free choice in which Cthulhu minions you like best. My previous iteration used 2 Cthulhu's Chosens, but they might be a bit slow, and especially against Warlock they might be a little underwhelming. As you saw earlier this game, it doesn't even trade with an Inking boss. Well, it sometimes trades with an Inking boss, but not usually. And with very few, very little help, a Warlock will not really care too much about that thing. Ravaging Ghoul and Acolyte of Pain look to be decent. Actually, Acolyte is not that great. Ghoul is acceptable, so I have some early game. So I was looking at this deck list, and I was thinking, well, what do I like? What do I not like about this list? And I do not really like the Beckoner of Evils. Beckoners of Evil. So I was thinking of ways I could improve on that slot, and I was thinking, well, what do I not like about Beckoner of Evil? It's a 2/3, and 2/3s aren't actually that great against Shaman. So I was thinking maybe I can replace them with Twilight Elders, because Twilight Elders are 3/4s, and 3/4s are actually pretty decent against Shaman. The problem there is... do I slam that? I think I slam that. And then I take the freebie. I could also Doomsayer here, which is that's not awful. Forces him to commit a bit more. I kinda like that, actually. If Doomsayer is going to be good, then it's going to be good now, I think. Because if he plays nothing now, then we can grab the board with, well, with a Ghoul, I guess. I don't really like playing a Ghoul here, though. Maybe I have something better next turn. I would have liked this situation a whole lot better if I had a Cthulhu's Chosen, but I suppose this will have to do. The Ghouls aren't that great against Shaman anyway, so I suppose I'm okay with this. And having something on the board is preferable to having nothing, so yeah.
Did you bring some fish?
I suppose Slam would have sufficed there. But this is a pretty good situation for us, assuming he doesn't kill this, and he doesn't. So, definitely okay with this. Any turn in which our board situation improves and his does not is a good turn in my book. So I was going to put in some Twilight Elders, and then I looked at the mana curve of the deck, and there was this big, huge spike on the 3 mana slot, and then I realized, oh wait, yeah, that's the reason you don't include Twilight Elders in a Warrior Cthulhu deck. I like the second Ghoul here, but let's, oh, I probably just should have drawn a card first. If I... Oh, that's much better. Yes, I should always do it this way. I was thinking of slamming the Flame Tongue Totem, but this makes a whole lot more sense. That was actually pretty awesome, if I say so myself. And are we ready for Cthulhu yet? Can I still see that? I can. We are not ready for Cthulhu yet. Okay, so I shouldn't coin that out. You actually can't see that if you can't play the cards. So I would have liked for some way to see whether this card triggers just from looking at it in my hand. Interesting. I never looked at it that way. Do I play Sylvanas here? That's actually a little awkward. That's a trade I'm always going to make, and I think, yeah, well, there's no way I'm not taking that trade, am I? And I probably just should keep pressuring him, I think. I don't like playing Sylvanas here, because a Hex easily takes care of that, but then again, if he hexes, then I think I'm okay with that next turn. Because he's not doing a whole lot if he hexes, so yeah, that's fine. So yeah, top deck the Hex, but that's okay. I don't mind whether he top decks it or not. His turn's going to be awkward, and any turn which is awkward for him is good for me. Especially any turn in which I top deck a Fiery War Axe. Alright. Well, we're doing pretty well so far. Only these brawls are looking a little awkward in any situation in which my opponent is not on the board and I am. But then again, that's a situation in which I'm ahead, so we shouldn't complain too much, I guess. Don't kill my 3-1, please. Then again, I could axe that, so that's probably still fine. Do we care about that? Yes we do, because the 2-1 can kill the 3-1, and I probably should execute that thing right now. We can trade Divine Shields. How's that? I could just brawl here, you know. There's a 2 and 3 that this thing dies, and I would be okay with that. Any situation in which that dies, I am okay with. Yes. Do we care if this thing survives? If this thing is the only thing surviving, then we're still going face. So that's fine. Yeah, it's not the brawl I was hoping for. Oh, yeah, that's a little awkward. Well, I guess I'll just have to face tank that then. Do I? Yeah, I kinda do. I don't really have another option. Well, I could coin the Cthulhu's Chosen and then run it into its next turn and then still face tank it. That seems awful. I can. Yeah, you know, I don't have to use my execute right now. This is still acceptable. I can use my execute next turn, or I can just face tank it again. I can actually play the Shield Bearer next turn, so I don't mind taking 14 from that thing too much. I'm getting a lot of armor here, so. But if he's not playing anything, then I think I'm fine with. Ooh, do I care about that? Well, that means I don't have to face tank it, so that's pretty good. Any situation in which I don't take 7 is pretty okay in my book. Well, I could also trade the Divine Shield for that, but that means leaving the totem alive, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So sure, I'll use an execute here. I'm reasonably fine with that, especially since I now have a board, an axe, and a Shield Bearer in hand. I'm pretty confident here. Yeah. And he knows these are coming. If a warrior plays Cthulhu cards, then the Shield Bearers are coming, so he basically had no chance anymore. Yeah. So yeah, this deck plays a lot of 3-drops. Can we see the mana curve here somewhere? No, not really. But we have the shield blocks, which are basically, well, almost required since we're also playing the shield slams, and well, they do help cycle and get us to the essential cards. We want to play a lot of card draw because of Cthulhu mostly. And There is a situation in which you play an extra acolyte as card draw, and if you play another acolyte, then I could see a situation in which you don't play another shield block. Against a mage, well, if it's a freeze mage, then we don't need to worry. If it's a tempo mage, I don't think we want execute against tempo mage really. We're basically just looking for Axe. Axe would be really nice, yeah. And Beckoner is a card you keep in your opener and you're pretty happy with, so not too awful. If Mana Worm comes out, do I coin the Beckoner? I think I coin the Beckoner in that case, and in this case I do too. So I'm okay with this. In any situation where I can follow a 2-drop with another 2-drop, I will spend a coin to do that. Even if my turn 3 looks a little empty for now, I'm not too sad there. Am I worried about... No, I'm not that worried about her yet. Although if it's Freeze Mage, we've basically already won this. So, watch me get wrecked by a Freeze Mage now. That's going to be really amusing. Looking like... Oh, that's brave. Did it kill one? Astonishing.
Astonishing.
Do I spend a slam to save a minion? Or do I just trade the minion and save a slam? I think I'll save a slam, but... How good is this minion going? This minion can still trade for another minion, and the slam can too, but the slam can cycle, and I appreciate my cycle. Let's see what we draw here.
This way.
Slam's still pretty good in combination with Ghoul, and the minion's not going to do a whole lot, I think. That was a pretty lucky Arcane Missiles, I'll admit. She didn't have the coin, so that was entirely... Wow. I really don't understand that one, actually. I really don't understand that one. Let's draw a card. The Ghoul can kill it next turn, so we'll take a little bit of damage here, but that's fine. I don't want to spend the Blood Taker here. She could play a 3-2, and then the Blood plus the Ghoul kills that. I wouldn't mind that. And, well, it doesn't kill that. That's a little unfortunate, but... How do we... Well, we can kill it that way, I guess. I don't want to execute that. I really don't want to execute that. I'll just face tank it, sure. Whatever. Do I care enough about the 1/1 Mana Worm? I don't know. Maybe I just want to armor up here. maybe the 1 armor is more important than that. What could she play on 6? That I would want a Ghoul against. Not really anything. To be honest, not really anything. I'll just armor up here. I think having 1 armor left over is more important than that.
Can I light your fire?
And now I can brawl. All is fine in the world, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that. Is there a better option? I could Ichor and then Cthulhu. I could Ichor and Cthulhu armor up. Ichor and Ghoul. If I Ichor and Ghoul, then I can still... If I Ichor the 5/5 and Ghoul, then she has a 2/1. I'm not too happy about the 2/1 either, but that would allow me to clear without... I'm not going to get a whole lot of good brawls. We're fighting a tempo mage here, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of good brawls here. And this result I'm entirely okay with. If it was the 1/1, I likely wouldn't even spend my Axe charge here. That's not bad. That's not bad for her. Actually, a rather good result. But I get to Disciple and Ichor and Ghoul, not necessarily in that order. So I don't mind that either. So the correct order here would be to Ichor first. Yes, because having a 2/1 left over is actually valuable. Because I'm playing another 2/1 here. So we're doing it this way. She has a couple of spells, which is something to keep in mind. And I might, since she's running 2 Ethereal Conjurers, 1 Summoner, I don't know. I don't mind the Flame Strike here, that's for sure. Do I play the Sylvanas here? I think the answer is no. Let's just collect some armor. Oh, and collect some more armor. I don't mind that either. We have a decent shield slam here, unless she fireballs face, so pretty much going to kill whatever she plays here. Yeah, I'll shield slam that. No problem. No problem with that. And we can gain some armor, or we can armor up and play Sylvanas. How's that? Well, she's likely got a polymorph for that. Actually, let's shield slam this and play Twin Emperor. Main reason to do that is to lure out the polymorph. I want her to polymorph something that is not Sylvanas, something that is not Cthulhu. That's a fireball. That's a polymorph. There we go. I don't mind the polymorph on that. And another something? A frostbolt on that, okay. Well, that's expensive, so yeah. That's a 4-1 though. I don't like that a lot. So what do we do here? Can we leave a Flamewaker alive for a little bit? I guess we could play Cthulhu here. She just played a polymorph, right? I guess it's kind of counter to our nature here to Cthulhu here, because we might be getting more value later. But I don't hate it. It should kill a Flamewaker in most, if not all cases. It provides a 12/12. If she doesn't deal with it, it doesn't really matter how big the Cthulhu is. She just used a polymorph on something else that might indicate that she has another polymorph effect, yeah. So that was going to happen. Pings that might be a Vaporize. If she doesn't kill it, she does kill it though, so it's definitely not Vaporize. That much we know. Oh, and that's a guard. She just used another Frostbolt, I don't hate that. That's a perfectly serviceable card here. Oh, she gets another. She gets one. Well, yeah, I didn't think to check for mirror entities, sure. So she can trade this one, and I would be okay with that. Oh, double Faceless Summoner. That's quite a greedy Temple Mage deck, actually. Well, that's quite an impressive watch you've got there, miss. Let's hope I draw my second brawl here. Or we could just take it easy, you know. Well, taking it easy might be a little dangerous, actually. Let me think here. That's actually a pretty good card. Pretty nasty. I think we're killing this spell power here. And just... Well, Sylvanas will work. I think Sylvanas will work. Let's kill that. Let's kill one of these. Let's play Sylvanas. We'll be safe for a little bit. She can deal some damage. But I have a board. She doesn't have a polymorph. So kills that and goes face with all the other stuff. I have some armor coming up though, so I'm not that scared right now. And I could run... Oh, that's aggressive, miss. I'm not sure that's the greatest idea right now. Well, kills that thing though. Yeah, I can see where that's going. Okay. Well, let me just leave this right here. I'll admit that's a pretty good top deck. That is a pretty good top deck, I'll say that. But she's got 11 damage there. And I couldn't reasonably deal with that? No, I couldn't execute my own Sylvanas because she can't. Well, no, you can't execute. I did have to check there. Oh, and that's pretty aggressive still. I think I'll take my Justicar back, though. Is that better? I don't know. That's a curious question. Can I kill her? That's another curious question. I can't. So would I prefer... I would prefer something that survives Flame Strike, I think.
Let none survive.
So let me take that. I'll take the 5-5 over... yeah, sure. I will take the 5-5 over that. Cthulhu got polymorphed, right? So that this doesn't really matter, but I would like to play something big. I would like to play something big. If she plays Mind Control Tech, then GG, but not much is happening here. Ah, double Pyroblast, so yeah, there's something. That is definitely something. Sometimes that happens with the... what's it called? With the Kabbalist Tome. I'm pretty sure she got one of those with the Kabbalist Tome, right? If she's playing double Pyroblast, then that's really something. Well, let me quickly re-roll my quest here, because that's going to be... well, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have. But let's play at least one more game, because I'm enjoying my time with this deck. And I'm getting high encoding messages again. I've had this all day, and I'm not sure what's going on. I hope this video will run correctly, because I've been having some trouble today, and I don't like it. Already lost one video, and now it's probably the heat. It's really warm outside, and my computer has been notoriously bad at dealing with high temperatures. I should probably get that checked out, but yeah, not keeping any of those. I really want some early game, such as yeah, that looks like some early game to me. I like that.
Greetings.
That is actually some pretty decent early game. Pretty much ideal, actually. If you could show me a couple cards and ask me which cards I would prefer to have in the early game, then this would rank pretty highly. And I will certainly axe whatever he plays here, yes. Yes, because if it's not a Finley, then it's probably worth killing. There we go. So that's the early game sorted, I'd say. Well, I shouldn't be so cocky. There might still be a Totem Golem coming out here. Oh, that's not a Totem Golem though, so that's pretty good for us. I will definitely kill the... will I kill the Finley? I don't even know whether that's a good idea, to be quite honest with you. I don't actually want to kill that Finley, I think. Not yet. Does it matter if he Feral Spirits? Do I want to kill the Feral Spirit over the... Yes, I do want to kill the Feral Spirit over the Finley. Let's just pass. Because I don't like what that means, yeah. If he's hero powering there... Well, he could just have some expensive minions on hand, and I'm playing a little inefficiently, which is kind of a shame. But we still have some minions left, and we're not dropping too low in the health department, so that's good. These minions will still trade for Finley. He's dealt some damage so far. I'll give him that. Finley has dealt some damage. That's not a good turn 4 for him, so... I will use another Disciple if I don't draw anything better. Ooh, that's good though. Is that good? I don't think that's good. I still have to board. I still have to board for now, at least. So, that's something. And as long as I have to board, I see no need to Doomsayer, but something big might drop and I might eat my words. Well, that is something big, but now he clears the board for me, so don't hate that either. I could Doomsayer and armor up. How's that? Is that better than dropping Justicar? I think him not dropping anything this turn makes... either he kills the Doomsayer and drops something. He's not going to have a lot of mana next turn. Here, hit this.
Welcome to the grand tournament, champion.
Go hit this with your Doomhammer. Or use a Rockbiter. I'm also okay with that. I would be perfectly fine with that, actually. Or he floods the board, and it's also good for us, right? If he Feral Spirits here, well, he would have to play another 1-drop along with it, I guess.
Don't worry, love.
For me to brawl it, I mean. He kills that. That's good. That's damage that's not going to my face, so don't hate that. And I think I'll Doomsayer here. Because he doesn't have a great way of dealing with that. Well, he needs 1 additional damage, but that's okay in my book. Then again, I'm killing my own Acolyte with it. Well, that does mean that he's not playing anything. I'm not sure how much I like the Doomhammer here. I'm starting to dislike it already. I think I'll just grab the board. I mean, him not playing anything is good and all, but I would like to drop a minion along with my Doomsayer, just for tempo purposes. Well, I guess I could drop an 8 next turn if. And am I really that sad if the Beckoner dies? I should have just Beckoner Doomsayer hero powered. Yeah. I think I prefer that, but getting the Acolyte down is also kind of important, because we're not really doing that much on the board right now. Kill my Acolyte, or kill my Beckoner. I'm fine with either. I'm fine with both. That's sure. Sure, kill all of it. Just kill it all. I'm perfectly okay with it. He's dealing a lot of damage here though. I can't quite hero power enough to keep up there. Would like a ghoul. How about a ghoul here? A ghoul is not good. Don't ghoul me. Well, okay, sure, I'll take that. I don't have a good answer to Faceless, so... Do I... No, I can't ghoul first and then Faceless. I could Doomsayer and... Brawl. I don't like that at all. Let's just take the 1 in 3 here. I would hate for that thing to survive though. It would be really bad for me. And this is going to... Is this going to be better than... Am I dead if I do that? Do I really have to armor up here, is the question. Well, I'm not taking that much... Well, I am taking less damage from Flame Tongue, for example. If he has Rock Biter... let's not assume the worst. I think we kill that. And we take 10 from Rockbiter, 12 from Hero Power, and he needs 4 additional damage. I don't think he has 4. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have 4. So he... Oh, he kills that. Wow. That's quite aggressive, sir. That is quite aggressive indeed. Let's see, is it time to Doomsayer? I don't like the Doomsayer right now, but I guess it will be the best option, right? We'll do it this way. I can just drop something really big next turn and still armor up, so that's fine. Let's do it this way. Sure. If you drop nothing next turn, then I'm okay with that. And if the 4-2 dies, then maybe that would have incentivized him to not kill the Doomsayer, and that's still okay with me. So he just does nothing, and then I get to drop something big, which is good. I like that. I get to drop something big and armor up, and that's a good turn in my book. So let's do this. That's a pretty big thing, and we are at 17 health, so... How much he could reasonably have? He could reasonably have Doomhammer, Rockbiter, Hero Power. So that's 12 damage out of nowhere, and then he has 4 mana to do something in addition to that. So I think that means. Do I want to just drop the Ghoul here? I just want to drop some llamas here. I don't care too much about the totem right now. Totem only represents 2 damage with the Flame Tongue totem, so that's not good enough. He'll have to do better than 2 damage from a card to kill me from out of nowhere, and I'm pretty sure that always, yeah, that would always involve. Doomhammer, Rockbiter. Yeah, alright, well, I am pretty satisfied with this deck so far, so would definitely recommend. A bit of free spots, so feel free to be creative and substitute whenever you feel you need to counter. You could do with some weapon removal, for example. But overall, definitely a good deck, and well, hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.